Okay, welcome Adebola today to our Head Start video. We really want to thank you and show our appreciation for you joining us on this project where we are trying to equip and empower young girls for the future heading into roles in AI. So I'm going to hand it over to you. I have Adebola Olomo who is the CEO of Deeferent Marketing Technology. I hope I'm right in saying that. But tell us your story, Adebola. Introduce yourself, and if you could give us a brief overview of your education and professional background, that'd be great.
Okay, hi, Paula. So cool to be here. Thanks for having me. My name is Adebola, like you said, very well said, and cool. I'm Nigerian. Came into Ireland about 7 years ago with my family because my husband said he got a job here, and so everybody had to just uproot and come here to support him. And my daughter and I have been trying to do that, building a career here all over again and all of that. But it's been an exciting journey. I have a first degree in law, but I never got to actually work in law because my first job opportunity was just like an internship after uni before going to law school. And it was in a marketing technology company. They built websites. They do a lot of technical jargon things. And I was like, what are they doing? And I got really excited about it. And I learned it. I put my heart into it. And before you knew it, I went from being an intern to being the head of business development before I had to then go to law school. Now, that's something that I think I've seen as a thread when it comes to my career and the way I've been able to embrace new technology. And also something I'm always challenging younger women, younger, folks about when it comes to, just embracing whatever comes to you. And that's the word curiosity. Just being curious about something, not knowing it is okay. We don't know everything. But when we're curious about something enough to say, I want to try to learn about that thing. I want to see whether that's something I can actually do. You find out you can do so much more than you can ever imagine. And that's how my career really started. And then from there, after law school, I wasn't going to go back into the courts or in the chambers. I was going back into technology and marketing. I already got my first roles, waiting for me. And my first job was by a telecoms company asking me to come help them with adoption of technology, which then was SharePoint, Microsoft SharePoint. And I was like, what? It was so hard, even for me. But I knew that it was a job that I could do because I think my specialty is helping people understand that technology is not fire. It's so easy when you know how it can make your work and your life easier. So that's the passion I had to just pass on to every other person. And that was my role. That was my job. Went down the line, started an agency of my own, employed teams and set up a very fantastic establishment till, of course, I said my husband came in 7 years ago and said, hey, it's time to move. And then coming into Ireland, it was so tough. Like, I just didn't know where to start. I had background in marketing, I had background in law, I had background in this, background in that, all of that all together. And I was just like, oh my goodness, when I get into Ireland, they're going to be going like, oh, you come work for me, you come work for me. Nah, it didn't work like that at all. For years, like I was just like, what is going on? But one great decision I made was, so I made two great decisions. One, I just didn't stop. I just didn't stop not looking or giving up or trying something that wasn't me just because I couldn't find. So I started an agency of mine here in Ireland. I was the only client apart from my friends that lived in London or around the corner say, hey, do this for me. I just didn't care. I just felt good waking up and going like, I'm going to work. And then my husband, remember, he was the one that brought me to this country. I got him to pay me my salary every month for that agency work, so that way we're able to like work tag team. I started to get some new exciting things getting me going. And then the second decision I made was going to for my master's here in Ireland in marketing. It was a great experience for me at NCI. And what that did was not only did it give me local experience, I made local friends as well. So after I was done with my master's, I got my first referral and my first job, and that was HubSpot.
Wow.
And going into HubSpot, I knew what I wanted to do. I got a job into customer onboarding. It wasn't marketing, but I already could see the pathway to marketing. So everyone was like, oh, you have to be here for a few years before you can move. I moved in the first year and I was already in product marketing and I was already doing the kind of things I loved and enjoyed. But one day, my product marketing journey, guess what? I had a meeting with our co-founder and co-founder of CEO of HubSpot, who is also our CTO, Damesh, and we're talking about algorithms. And it was just meant to be a normal conversation about something else because I was working as a product marketer on how CTOs could actually come into the conversations about buying technology, about marketing. So anyway, so we had that conversation and then he said something. He said, if algorithm is this powerful now, so much so that if I go on YouTube Shorts and I come out of it crying because they're showing me stories that melt my heart, and they show him something entirely different that makes him code and do all that, that you can imagine the power of AI in a few years. So I left that meeting. I went to Google AI in marketing. The only course then was in the University of Virginia through Coursera. I took that course, and that's how my journey into AI and marketing started. It started again with being curious. I just wanted to know, what does AI mean and how is it changing the landscape in my own industry, which was marketing. And from there, it was like fire. I wanted to talk about it. I was all over LinkedIn about it. I wanted to have conversations around it. And the more conversations I had about it, the more I started to understand it, learn about it, know it. More people wanted to engage me about the conversations, and I've been everywhere. And one of the cool things again that came from that was that women in AI approached me and said, you are someone in marketing, you've got the soft skills. Most of us are professors, researchers. We're into the tech stuff, we're in the hard stuff. So you bring the soft into our old tech world. And so I became head of communications and I started to build a whole team on that as well. I got to go to many of the universities, Trinity, UCD, all of that, talking about AI and gender, talking about how AI should be responsible, diversity and inclusion with AI. And so you can already see the wall that is opened up for me just because I was curious enough to say, what does this do for my world and how does this change everything? And I just didn't stop at being curious. I went on to do something about it. And that's where education comes in. You learn about it, you try to gain more knowledge, you try to have conversations, you try to get, as much as you can so that you can then also help others, gain that same expectation, gain that same knowledge, and also grow, within the field. Yeah.
Wow, what a lovely story. Really great. And a journey and an exciting and a fast-paced one by the sounds of it.
Yes, yes.
So you mentioned there that you speak at the universities about AI and about gender balance. Is that your day-to-day role now? Or is that just one side of it? Or can you tell us a bit about your role within the AI sector right now?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting one. So remember I said being a HubSpot and all of that, got to a point when I saw that the opportunities were so much when it came to what I wanted to do as my next level. And that's what empowering yourself with education also does. Because at that point now I could see the light. What do you want to do next, Adebola? Even though I'm in here, this job is great, but I want to be able to help many more organizations look at technology, adopt it, and be able to then take that fire and to carry that across the whole organization. So I went back to the agency I started when I came into Ireland then. So that was different. I went back to different and I said, different, you're going to have a new focus right now, helping organizations to adopt tech. And that was something that we started to do. And we've now done that across Africa, Europe, and now in the United States as well, with clients, corporate, public sector, private sector, helping them see either is HubSpot they want to use and adopt, Intercom they want to use, or whatever technology they're using, Microsoft Dynamics. They bring people like us in and say, help us understand the strategy and how do we get our teams to actually not just have this technology on their computers, but use them in a way that benefits our organization. So AI becomes one of those technologies as well, because some of them are now building their AI strategies. And so someone like me comes in to help them understand their current status quo and where within their processes they can automate now using AI. So it's not just about taking everything and say, oh, we're going into an AI world. No, sometimes you just need someone to do an audit. Where are we now? What do our teams do? How do they replicate? Where do we bring in automation, personalization, things that AI can actually do? What tools do we use? What AI tools are really dependable? So those are the kind of things I do on a date. It is so much fun because going into different organizations, auditing them, means you have to actually know so much about those organizations. You're learning about, today's oil and gas industry, tomorrow is the retail industry, another time is just the real estate industry, and you're just learning so much about their processes, building it up for them, and then helping them to be able to automate it using AI. Yeah.
Wow. And are you meeting any challenges along the way, especially when you're going into these companies? I'm sure there's an element of fear from the employees in adopting AI. Or are there personal challenges that you faced along the way while you're trying to progress your career?
I think for organizations, the challenge is almost like a trend, is the same, which means organizations have to understand that people learn at different levels and people would adopt things at different levels. So if you come to terms with that, then it's possible for you to be able to draft a strategy that allows you not to leave anybody behind. But when you're just so much about ticking a box about, oh, we've done this, people get scared, and those that are scared fall behind. And in no time, they delay everybody else, because when the dust settles, you're like, okay, can we get this done? We're like, oh, we don't know what to do. We don't know. We just know that there's a hype around it and there's all this. What exactly are we doing? So organizations are facing that challenge. And so I'm going to just I try to do this as many times as possible when I speak at different events, to say, when you're adopting AI, you need to first of all start by understanding that everyone would have a different learning purpose. And that includes even managers, because gone are the days when the managers know so much and they're hiring new people. Now, AI is new to everybody. Everybody's coming to it at the same time in the world, including those that are meant to be making decisions. So you need to lead with empathy. You need to lead with, just that sincerity and saying, let's be open and transparent about where we are as people when it comes to adopting this technology and how we can help each other, get into that. Those that are faster should be able to mentor and help those that are slower to get on with it. And with that, we're really building teams that are ready, to take on new technology like artificial intelligence and emerging technology, and use that to actually propel the organization to the level that it should be at. As a personal challenge, what I can say when it comes to AI is not having as many people, especially women, within that space. I've looked at a few data, and it's very, very shocking to see that many women, just because of the kind of people that we like to know things almost 100% before we get up and speak about it. But men will know only 10%, and they're ba 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 ba, and they're CMO, CDD, PhD, like that's it. So we need more women to be more, just understand that it's a playing ground now. It's a playing ground. And the more women we have out there really taking the own and owning it and understanding that you don't have to know it 100%, but whatever inspire somebody else to be able to share their story, to be able to go on there and make it happen for themselves as well. So we have to be our biggest advocates as women. We have to be the ones getting up there, throwing the ladder down, and helping others also get up there. No matter what it is or at the level that you are, you're good enough, you're great enough, you can make it happen. That's where I think the challenge is, and we just have to keep owning that in until we see
It
many
is
more women.
self-belief, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant. Mindset and
Yes.
self-belief, great. In terms of education and skills, what's your opinion of the education system in Ireland? Do you think it supports female integration into STEM and ICT roles?
This is something as well that I have seen based on data, being on panels, having discussions with educational systems within Ireland. Um, you have to give them a round of applause because they are doing so much to get as many women across the line as possible. You need the help, they want to give you the help. What education gap do you have? They want to give it to you. How do you want to do? Do we have more women in the room? Do we have this and that? They're doing it. The only part that I'm challenging them on now is inclusion. We have seen enough of diversity. Let's see more of inclusion. Let's see more of those women being heard, those female students having their own platforms to show that they are thriving in tech, they're thriving in STEM. Let them have their own space. Just like sports, you have the male sports, you have the female sport. You need to understand that the female gender is just unique and special. And when you nurture a female gender, you're nurturing a whole community because they know how to lead, they know how to build, they are dependable for a long time. So I think that not only should we just get them there and say we have more girls now in STEM or we have more girls in classes, but are those girls building? Are those girls giving opportunities to be able to be rewarded for having stepped up to that level and hitting it and doing it? Give them that recognition. Let them feel powered. So much so that men look at their girls and go like, hey, you're going into STEM because STEM is where these things are happening right now. So everybody becomes an ally. Men, women, whoever it is always rooting for the girl child to be able to say, don't just get them across the line, give them an opportunity to soar, to learn, to showcase, the beauty that they are in the way that they are learning. If not, we'll have lesser and lesser girls because they really don't want to go struggle with all these guys and all the things that have to be so braggadocious about technology. You get into rooms and the only females are really, we're not so many in that technology room. So you need to give them an opportunity to step forward, and give them a round of applause as well when they've done it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, you mentioned empathy there a while ago, and I think that's a big part of it, isn't it? Understanding how hard it was to get where they got and to support them on the next stage of the journey. In terms of that, are there any skills or competencies that you realized that you needed or were helpful, or are there other ones you'd like to learn and develop maybe?
I think when it comes to skills, it's about knowing what you're good at. And that's where AI comes in. AI is coming into our world to make better anything that we currently do, any business, any style, whatever it is. I'm in marketing. I'm not building codes, but it's helping my industry. It's helping me be able to say, how can we do global campaigns? How can I sit here and be able to run a campaign that if they see it in Sao Paulo, they don't know that somebody in Ireland built it. They just see the nice language and they see the nice songs, and they feel pumped and hyped. Just because I've used AI to understand their culture, understand the nuance, and built that campaign. I'm sitting here and I'm saying, how do I do personalization so that Paula gets an email? She doesn't even know that person doesn't even know her at all, but it's our bankers and they've known her for years, but now they're able to speak to her like she's the only Paula in the entire island. That's where we need to get to. And that's what AI can do. You know what I mean? That's understanding that data to that point. So no matter what industry you're in, you can start now to determine how AI is changing that world and then be at the forefront of learning that skill, owning it, understanding it so that you can also teach it back. So it's not about, one of the best skills is number one, just be creative, understand it, and then we're going to be going from too many technical skills to softer skills. So now doctors won't have to think so much about writing notes when they're talking to a patient because AI does that for them. So now they can actually look in the patient's eye and be empathetic and understand and let them understand exactly what their diagnosis is or whatever it is. So now we're going to that level where you're someone that does data analytics. AI will do your data. You just need to know how to go into the boardroom and explain that data, tell the story. So softer skills like storytelling, softer skills like, just being human. What can the AI, can the machine do? Is be human. So you need to now bring out that human side of you, the softer skills of you, the things you enjoy doing, and then let that be what helps you to round about, your AI things and then differentiate you from one person to the next. Those are the kind of skills we're going to have to build.
You mentioned your curiosity as well and how you can kind of nurture your curiosity. Yeah, great. Lovely. Really inspiring words, Adebola. Thank you. Are there any specific opportunities or support systems that have helped the integration of young females into the AI workforce, do you believe?
Down the line, I think it will get more popular, but mentorship is going to be something that will be very important, where women on men and whoever it is within the industry now is really taking on mentees and actually showing them the way. Women in AI would do that. So I would really, really recommend anyone go on to Women in AI Island. And then if you're not even in Ireland, there's so many Women in AI chapters across the world. But in Ireland, we have a LinkedIn page where we share as much information every day. Just soak it in, learn from it. Send us an email direct message if you would like to be mentored by someone. We have different mentorship programs per time, so we can easily bring you in. We have hangouts as well. You get to meet other women that are in that space. So when you see more women in there, you feel, I can do this. I can do this as well. It's no big deal, and that way they can also see that we're getting more diverse. We're building up together, and we can always support each other as well as we grow. So mentorship will be very, very critical. Going to Coursera, remember I went to Coursera is how I got into this. Don't feel shy to look at all the Google free tools on Google right now. LinkedIn Learning also has some free tools. Just take as much free tools as possible, but make sure that you're actually learning what pertains to your interest. Don't get banged into the oh, I want to learn this, so I'm going to LLM, or I'm going to prompt engineering, or I'm going to no, don't do that. Don't do that. If you have to get a mentor to guide you, please do that. Message me at Adebola Olomo on LinkedIn. I would be able to also give you some free advice. But the thing about it is, you need to know, what is AI doing in my own space? How can it change what I'm currently doing? Then you can start to give you some recommendations of our courses. And sometimes it just gives you some tips on what you can do. And you can start from there. And then as you go in your own pace, you get more education to it, you learn more, you find yourself in a community as well, put yourself in there. Put your hand up when they ask someone to speak. That's how you grow. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
That's how you just change the world. Yeah.
Lovely. So basically, you'd recommend girls with any interest in AI to become a member of Women in AI or Women in AI Ireland. I was on the Women in AI website today, and just this quote stood out to me, that they want to create an environment where women own the stage and present inspiring ideas. And that sums it all up, doesn't it?
That's it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Women
That's it.
supporting women and women inspiring women. And
Yeah.
I suppose that's what this project is about as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Adebola, just any parting words of advice that you'd like to give young girls or women who are out there and they're thinking about heading down a career or a journey in AI?
The world is waiting for you. You need to go for it. You need to just go for it. Don't wait till you have everything for you, to feel confident enough to go. You are more than enough at this stage. But if you need the help, ask for the help. Don't just be shy and go like, oh, no, no, no. Mm-mm. Remember, if you wait, somebody else is taking that stage and somebody else is running with it. But you've got this opportunity now, especially knowing this, having the head start and all that. So take the head start, run with it, make it happen for everyone else. So that, imagine in a few years when you're also so grown and your kids and all that have come in, they feel like, oh, my mama or my grandma was there when AI started, and see the beautiful world that they've left for us. That's what we want to do. We want to actually make real impact, and we need you to do that. So let's go. Let's all do it. Let's all come on and
Yay, let's do it. Thank you so much, Adebola.
You're welcome.
It was a lovely chat and really inspiring. Delighted to have you as part of the Head Start project. And you
Yeah.
brought a tear to my eye there. That was really,
Oh,
really, really inspiring. So thank you so
thank
much.
you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really happy, to have to do this. It's the little things that we can do to get it out there and make it happen for all of us.
Brilliant.